Let's go.
So tomorrow, don't we have like a different schedule?
Do not worry about it. It is not right now. I am trying to teach.
25,
Okay. We're drawing 8 identical balls. They've got 2 1s, a 2, 3 3s, a 4, and a 5. I want exactly 20 1s after 25 draws. So you said it was what? 25 C20. Okay. I want 1s. What's the probability of pulling a 1? 2 out of 8. I've got 2 1s out of 8. Again, how many of those do I want? 20. What's the probability of not pulling a 1?
6 out of 8.
6 out of 8. How many of those do I have? 5. Fantastical. Okay, that gives me point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 1, 5. 7 zeros. Double 1, 5.
6, 7.
Okay. Probability of exactly 8 3s after 16 draws.
16 C8.
16 C8. Probability of a 3. 3 out of 8. How many of those do I want?
8.
8. Probability of not a 3. 5 out of 8. And how many of those do I want? 8. Fantastic. 0.117.
That's simple. All right.
And exactly 5 5s after 15 draws.
15 C5.
15 C5.
15 to 5.
Probability of a 5.
1 out of 8.
1 out of 8. How many of those do I want? 5. Probability of not a 5.
7 out of 8.
7 out of 8. How many of those do I want? 10. You get 0.0241. Questions?
Nope.
I love that formula. It is my favorite formula.
Oh my God.
I think it's easy.
It's pretty, yeah, it's not complicated at all.
No. That's gone.
Questions or issues on these 3?
No males.
All right. That face, Sal. I don't know. That's like the face my daughter likes to make when I do something stupid. She just looks at me and she's like, okay. Bryce has a .300 batting average. He takes 5 bats at tonight's game. What is the probability he gets 2 hits in the game? How do I write you're getting 2 hits in the game?
3 out of 5.
Oh.
Wait.
How many bats is he taking total? 5. So 5C2. He's getting exactly 2 hits. What's the probability of him getting a hit?
1 out of
What's his batting average?
0.3.
0.3. I want 2 of those. What's the chance of him not hitting the ball then if he has a 0.3 of hitting the ball? 0.7. How many times do we want him to miss?
3.
3. So he's got a 0.3087.
38
I got a question. How did you get the 0.7?
Yeah.
Because 7 plus 3 is.
Remember, it has to equal 1. Altogether, it has to equal 1.
Oh,
So if
5
you have a
plus 2.
0.3 chance of getting it, you've got a 0.7 chance of not getting it.
5 plus 2.
5C4 for the next one.
No, not 5 plus 2. These two have to go together to equal 1.
So if it was like 0.2.
So if it was 0.2, this would be 0.8.
Oh, okay.
If this was 0.4, this would be 0.6. Okay. What's the probability that he's going to get 4 hits? 5C4. What's the probability of him hitting the ball? 0.3. How many times? 4. Probability of not. Perfect. This is 0.189.
Well, at least.
Because the probability of something happening plus the probability of something not happening should always equal 1. It's 1 whole.
Or at least.
What is the probability he gets at least 3 hits? What does at least 3 mean?
3 or more?
3 or more. So 3 4,
Five.
or 5? So we've got to do all of them. Probability of 3. It's 5C3. You've got a 0.3 chance, and I want it to be 3. We've got a 0.7 chance, and I need that to happen twice. Okay, that's 3 hits. Or 4 hits. 5C4. I want to hit it 4 times and miss it once. Or 5 hits. I want to hit it all 5 times and I want to miss it 0 times.
Holy. Dang.
I would let you leave this like that on the test. Okay. If it's just 1, please plug it in. If you get a big old strain of things here, but this does come out to be 0.16308. You might not even do that one at all. It's not that it's hard, it's a pain in the butt to plug in.
Uh-huh.
It's a long process to plug in. Unfortunately, though, on your final exam, you don't have a choice. They're not going to give you answer choices like this. They're going to give you numbers. Okay? The last one. Emma is planning on taking a pass-fail course. In order to pass the class, she must pass at least 3 papers out of 4. Emma usually has a 0.8 probability of passing any paper. What is the probability that she will pass the class? Okay? If she's going to pass the class, she needs to pass 3 out of 4 papers.
3C4.
No.
4C3.
4C3. 4C3. What's the probability that she's going to pass a paper?
0.8.
0.8. How many times does she want to pass a paper? 3. What's her probability of not passing a paper then?
0.2.
0.2.
1.
Once. Or she has to pass at least 3 out of 4. So what else do I have to do? 4 out of 4. Good. So I've got 4 papers and she can pass all 4 of them. She has an 8.8% of passing. She wants it to happen 4 times and she wants to fail none of them. Okay, if you plug that in, you get 0.8192. That's the probability of her passing her class. Part B. What is the probability that she's going to fail? If she has 0.8192 of passing, how do I figure out how to fail? Subtract it from 1. 1 minus 0.8192. What do I get when I subtract? What's 1 minus 0.8192?
0.18.
0.1808. So does she have a better chance to pass or fail? Pass. She has a better chance to pass. She's a genius and moving on in life.
It was this test when it counts. That's what saved me last year.
Okay, the last thing we need to talk about are odds. Okay. Odds for and odds against. So, odds for are the favorable outcomes. For instance, if I have, let's see, what's the probability of rolling a 1? You said 1 out of 6. So you have 1 chance to get a 1, and how many chances to not? 5. So your odds are 1 to 5. You've got 1 chance to get it, 5 chances to not. Okay, so these are odds for. If they wanted odds against, all we would do is flip this around. Your chances of not getting it versus your chances of getting it. Okay, so that is the difference between probability and odds. So the odds up means we've got win to loss. You can write it as 1 to 5. You can write it as 1 to 5 or 1 out of 5. They all mean the same thing. Okay, odds against, all we do is flip it and it's lost to win. Again, you can have 5 to 1. Whoops, that should be 5 to 1. Okay, you can write it any one of those 3 ways and it would be correct. Questions? Okay, let's get this party started.
Let's get it started, Gary.
Suppose you are playing a game in which you roll a pair of dice. If you roll a 7 or an 11, you win.
Oh, yeah.
How many ways can you lose and win the game? First off, if I'm rolling 2 die, bless you. How many options do I
2
have?
out of 12.
Oh, 2 dice, yes.
Woo, no.
Whoa.
Wait, you said 2 out of 12?
Sample space for 2 die. What can you roll on your first die?
1.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What can you roll on the second one?
Same thing.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I've got 6 by 6, how many options do I have?
Wow.
36.
What?
36 total.
6 by 6.
Okay. If you put a 1 and a 1 together, you get a 2. 1 and a 2 together, you get a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. This is the easiest way to do a sample space of 2 die.
Okay,
Is to
I got it.
literally, okay, 1 through 6 on the side, 1 through 6 across the top.
Ugh.
Pair them together. This will start at a 2, end at a 7. This one starts at a 3, ends at an 8. This one starts at a 4,
Ends in an
ends at a 9. This one starts at 5, 6, and 7, so on and so forth. Okay, so this is 6, 7, 8, 7, 8, 9, 8, 9, 10, 10, 11, 12.
No,
Wait,
9,
9, 10.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I skipped one.
Yeah, come on.
My bad.
8.
9, 10, 11,
And 10,
10, 11, and 12.
Good job, good job.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. How many chances do I have to roll a 7 or an 11? According to this sample space. How many times do I have to roll a 7? 6. How many times do I have to roll an 11? 2. So 6 and 2 give me, I've got 8 chances of winning. How many chances do I have to lose then? 28. If I have 36 chances total and 8 of them I win, I've got 28 to lose. I don't know where you got 32 from. If you subtract 8 from here, you get 28. So your odds of winning, odds in favor of 8 to 28. 8 chances to win, 28 to lose. If I want to do odds against, I flip it, chances to lose against chances to win. You can also simplify this. What are both of these numbers divisible by? 2, which would take me down to 4 and 14. Can still go down 2 and 7. So you may see it written just like this, or you may see it in reduced form. You can still reduce this. Okay. So please be cautious of that.
Can I ask you one question?
Yes.
Do you not like the original? I want to take a picture of it. Copy it home.
Sure. Okay, questions? Okay, example 2. Steve Nash shoots free throws with a probability of 0.9. For every 100 free throws, Nash will make 90 and miss 10. Okay, so let's simplify this. If he wins 90 and misses 10, what can these reduce down to? 90 and 10 reduces down to what?
80.
What can I just drop if they're both in the 10?
0.
The 0. Just drop the 0. So I can make 9 Miss one. So what's the odds of Nash making a free throw? 9 to 1. What's the odds against?
1 to 9.
1 to 9.
So you just work numbers.
Shaquille O'Neal shoots free throws. He has a probability of 0.52 of making it and will miss 0.48. So let's reduce this first. 52 and 48 are both divisible by what? 2, which takes me down to 26 and 24. Keep reducing. 13 and 12. So what's my odds of making? 13 to 12 and odds against 12 to 13.
Oh, look, we're almost done.
This is it. Okay? So what we need to do with this one is they gave us the probability. We now need to change the probability to odds for and odds against. Okay? The easiest way to do this is to take the decimal and change it to a fraction. So 0.08. That's 8 hundredths. So we change that to 8 out of 100. What does that reduce down to? Two out of 25. If you do not know how to reduce that, please just plug it into your calculator, hit math, and do the fraction, and it will reduce it for you. So that means 4 out of 25. So how many against? If I have 2 out of 25 of doing it, what do I have against? This is 2 out of 25. So I have 2 4. What do I need to add to 2 to give me 25? 23. So this is 2 to 23. Your odds should always add up to give you the bottom part of a probability.
That's 23 to
Okay.
2, right?
So then odds against is going to be 23 to 2. Okay. In other words, take your bottom number and subtract, and that will give you against.
Yeah, that's what I just.
Okay. Again, this is giving you probability. So Ivan is 16 out of 100. 4 over 25, which means this is 4 to 21 or 21 to 4. Leighton then is 20 out of 100, which is 1/5. 1 to 4, 4 to 1. Roger is 25 out of 100. 1/4, 1 to 3, 3 to 1. Serena is 15 out of 100. 3 over 20. Okay, so that means
3 out of 17.
3 to 17.
17 to 3, baby.
17 to 3, baby. I like to mock these up. It's fun.
I know it's excellent. ain't it?
16 out of 100.
425,
4 over 25.
421,
4 to 21. 21 to 4. The last example, they're going to give us odds, and we actually have to come up with probability. So we're going to take this and now come up with this.
So we're gonna do it backwards.
Okay. Anybody still need this up?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. So, best part about this, when they give us odds, add them together to get our total. What's our total for probability here? 15. Okay. It says the odds of. We want to find the probability of the event. Odds of means my probability for is 7 and the probability against is 8. So this one, odds of, is going to be 7 out of 15. Okay. I'm going to jump over to D. What's my bottom part of probability in D? 10. Okay, so when I'm trying to find probability here, this is odds against, which means the number I want to put on top is my second number. It's going to be 3 out of 10. So you have to be very careful there. Okay? When it says odds against, you want to use the second number. When it's odds of, you want to use the first. So part B says odds of. So what number do I use on top? 2, and it's out of 17. Odds of. What number on top? 9 out of. Perfect. Odds against. 7 out of. Odds against. 1 out of 2. If the odds of E are the same as odds against, what's my probability? 1 and 1, so it's 1. No, 1/2. If they're the same, odds for and odds against, they're half and half.
So we
And
have,
don't let it trick you up.
That's it.
we done.
That's it.
No homework.
I have a review sheet